What is going on, Lakers fans, Lakers Nation? Lakers went 5-0. That's right, 5-0 on their home stand. And you know what? After everything we have been saying with this Lakers team, are they contenders? Is this a gap year? Should they even worry about making the playoffs? All this different types of stuff that we have been talking about. And you know what they have done? They have shut all of us up. Not only did they beat the New York Knicks, they followed that up with the win against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And they won both of those games in a convincing fashion. And then you know what? Let's go ahead and follow it up with another win. Another win in a top 10 team, you can say, in the NBA, in the Denver Nuggets. Excuse me, they beat the Bulls. Okay, can't roll over past that. But I'm just trying to keep my mind straight as far as the top teams that they have beat, because we talk about them not able to beat the better opponents or teams that they're right in the mix with. And no, they just keep on playing the right way and keep on building off of their momentum. A 127 and a 125 win in an overtime thriller for the Los Angeles Lakers. And guess what? That's right, you, Brian in the YouTube chat, Peter in the YouTube chat, all you guys in the YouTube chat that have been getting on LeBron James. Hell, he's made a little bit of a difference in these two games that he's been in. So we got to talk about that. And of course, Lakers got a game tonight. This is a big time game. Their brutal 6-game road trip. It starts tonight and possibly a playoff matchup in the Houston Rockets. They got two of those back-to-back games in Houston. This is basically a playoff scenario that we are going to have our eyes on. But before we do any of that, let's talk about my friends at Pechanga Resort Casino. And you can play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, the official Native American resort and casino of the Los Angeles Lakers. Skip the traffic. Head on over to Pechanga Resort Casino just off the I-15 in Temecula. Visit pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for reservations and for more information. 127 to 125. So we talk about LeBron James once again. We talk about the trio of Luka, AR, and LeBron, and how Luka and AR have looked better with LeBron James off the basketball court. They did. There's no knock on them. They did play well without LeBron James in the lineup in those games against the New York Knicks, in those games against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Not only their offense got going in both of those games, their defense has been a lot better throughout these past couple of games. Okay, that we sit there throughout that week. When is LeBron James going to turn? Is he going to return? Should he wait his return against the Denver Nuggets? We started getting into that narrative once again because we're like, LeBron James shouldn't return to the lineup only because we don't want to see the chemistry of Luka and AR get disrupted. No. Comes back against the Chicago Bulls. What happens? The Lakers beat the Chicago Bulls. A game that they were up 20 plus, came down, and ended up closing the game out as they should have. A game that they should have won. And they did. They took care of business. So then we have all of our eyes against this game against the Denver Nuggets. A Denver Nuggets team who has had the Lakers number throughout these past couple of seasons. So you expect Denver Nuggets, they got a healthy Aaron Gordon, they got a healthy Jamal Murray, they got a healthy Nikola Jokic, okay? And LeBron James is still in the lineup. So then there's more concerns. What's the spacing going to look like? What's the ball movement going to look like? What's the defense going to look like? How are they going to be able to defend Jokic? We understand Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray has a history of, for some reason, he'll have a bad game the night before against the Lakers. And then when it comes time for him to match up against the Lakers, he all of a sudden is just a certified bucket getter. That was not the case last night for Jamal Murray. The Lakers did a really good job on Jamal Murray. And just seeing how that defense was throughout majority of that game, Lakers defense, for the most part, was pretty good. All right. Jamal Murray shot 1 for 14. Keep that in mind. 1 for 14. Again, we always talk about, because Anthony Edwards had a bad shooting night, right? Jalen Brunson was struggling getting his offense going. And we kept on saying, yeah, it's just a bad shooting night. Yeah, just one of those nights for those teams. We won't see them shoot like that again. This is now another game where the Lakers force opposing player in Jamal Murray, who is known for getting nothing but buckets on the Lakers, and they held them to under his average. 1 for 14. Were there some open looks? Possibly so. But again, we have to give credit where credit is due, and the Lakers defense has been playing better. That is another thing that we have to also give credit for JJ Redick, is that he is making that. What an awesome graphic right there. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen all the memes as far as Jamal Murray when he ends up having a bad game. That is incredible work. Oh my, I'm sorry, that threw me off. That is hilarious. But we've seen the Lakers and we've seen how their defense has gotten a lot better. And honestly, we always get worried about as far as, all right, LeBron James, is he going to fall back? Is he going to be able to play, not necessarily being a role player, but in a role to kind of give Luka Doncic his rhythm and get him going? In a role where Austin Reeves can still get his. In a role where, okay, can Deondre Ayton still roll hard to the basket? Can he still rim run? Yeah. Not only he showed it against, again, the Chicago Bulls, but you guys were telling me, hey, look, it's one game, DeAndre. Rightfully so. It was one game. Let's see it against the Denver Nuggets. And we did. We saw it against the Denver Nuggets. Austin Reeves still gets 32. That's right. Austin Reeves still gets 32 points. Luka Doncic still getting 30 points. Followed up, Marcus Smart is getting 21. Look at this picture right here. For you guys that are getting on LeBron James's head and saying that LeBron James needs to fall back, come off the bench, what 41-year-old man is out there diving on the basketball court, diving for a loose ball in a critical possession to end up being a jump ball? I understand the Nuggets still end up winning the tip, still end up winning that jump ball, but still, this is a tone setter. This is him saying, if my ass is able to dive on the floor for a loose ball, I expect that same energy and effort from every single one of you guys on that end of the basketball court. A 41-year-old guy, LeBron James, is still out there doing stuff like that. And that's another thing for JJ Redick. He gave the mindset and telling his guys, what? This is a playoff game. You guys need to go out here with that playoff intensity. You guys need to treat this game as if it is a playoff game. And the Lakers did treat it as if it was a playoff game. And guess what? It came down to a couple of possessions. Lakers obviously got up to as much as 17 points. 17. That first half, they were killing the Nuggets. But once again, third quarters happened for the Lakers. The Nuggets were able to chip away, and they still found some way. They even took the lead at one point in that second half. And then you guess what? Lakers didn't roll over. Lakers did not roll over. It's LeBron James diving on the floor for loose ball. We have to discuss Marcus Smart getting a critical pickpocket and taking all the way down to the length of the floor and scoring. Okay? And then it comes down to the Nuggets played it smart. As far as in the foul game, when you have the lead like that, you have 3-4 points, the Nuggets played their cards right as far as fouling. All right? And then the question was, as time was running down, what is the Lakers' game plan, or what are they going to do? How are they going to be able to tie this game up, or hell, even take the lead? Because Nuggets played again. Credit to their coaching staff and what they did, and sending the Lakers to the free throw line and not allowing them to get an opportunity to what? To make a three-point shot or get a good open look. Make them make free throws, which the Lakers do. Remember, we talked about them. The Lakers do struggle at the free throw line at times. And then what happens? A heroic play from Austin Reeves. Honestly, don't know what the hell the Denver Nuggets were doing in that situation. But him missing the shot, and honestly, he missed it at the right spot, and he was right there and was able to take it, get a nice floater in that, short corner range. Lakers tie the game up. We head into overtime. Now, this is where it gets really, really good as far as overtime. And one guy that I know you guys were in there talking about, because I gave credit to LeBron James and him diving on the floor. I've gave credit to Marcus Smart stepping up. The Lakers are going to need Marcus Smart, and they're going to need that energy and effort come playoff time. Now, I'm very, very critical, once again, on this certain player, and his name is DeAndre Ayton. Numbers-wise, did DeAndre Ayton really have a high-scoring game? No, he did not. However, once again, we got to talk about him as far as being engaged and him having energy and him having effort. And honestly, he did, especially in that overtime. In that overtime, the Nuggets went 1 for 5 shooting against them. He also had a huge block. He was able to keep Nikola Jokic in front, block the shot, and once he should have. Telling you guys right now, he should have tried to save that ball. He had a chance to save the ball. You see Luka Doncic, you see Austin Reeves, you see LeBron James all giving him that gesture as far as you got to be able to secure the basketball. You had a moment to kind of secure it. We can get down in the other lane on the other end and try to score. That's exactly right. Shout out to Deondre Ayton because he did have his crunk juice last night against the Denver Nuggets. He might have took a little sip heading into overtime because that energy and effort was at an all-time high. But he also was able to chip in 4 of LA's 9 overtime points. Again, he had another huge offensive rebound to secure that win against the Denver Nuggets. That shot against Jokic, I know the Nuggets were able to get a bucket because the ball went out of bounds, but still, him being energized, him having that effort and blocking a shot. Now, it's a learning curve. Now they're going to tell him, hey, you got to play through the whistle. Play until the whistle is blown. And so if he has opportunity to save the ball, who knows what would have happened. But still, what I'm trying to get at is that is a huge block. That is a big ability to keep Nikola Jokic out in front of you and force a contested jump shot. And, of course, we know what happened. Luka Doncic was able to get to his bread and butter. He was able to get to his spot. He was able to knock down that jump shot on the baseline. Game time, Lakers end up winning the game in overtime against the Denver Nuggets. That makes it 5-0 on their homestand. Offense looks good. Defense looks good. The energy and effort, playing full 48 minutes, has been good for the most part. I know they had that little bump in the third quarter. The Nuggets were able to chip away, which can't happen. But again, it's basketball. Basketball is a game of runs. You expect things like that to happen, especially in today's NBA. But all we have been asking for is what? Can they just play hard? Full 48 minutes. Another thing that we all been critical about is, can they actually play the trio of Luka, AR, and LeBron? It seems like it's working. It seems like JJ Redick has made the necessary adjustments. It seems like that talk that he had with LeBron James. And I'm not, again, this is not him being a role player. This is him just understanding that, which I felt like going into the season, LeBron James did have a clear understanding that it's going to be Luka first. And then potentially Austin Reeves trying to get his licks. And then LeBron James is still going to get what? He's still going to get his 15 to maybe 20 jump shots up. All right? But the Lakers are going to need, especially at this age of him, they're going to need this better version of LeBron James. And hell, we talk about the spacing. We talk about the offense. This is now another game where Lakers get over 120 points scoring. And we've been talking about them. Again, this is crazy because this whole entire season, and they're playing at the right time. And we call this in the basketball that they're peaking at the right time. They're playing the best basketball at the right time. And everyone's starting to figure it out. The offense is starting to click. And you want to know why the offense is starting to click? Because it's not necessarily a lot of player watching, a lot of ball watching. We actually see Luka Doncic cut to the basket. We actually see Austin Reeves cut to the basket a little bit. We also see LeBron James get to the free throw line, cut to the basket a little bit. Again, credit to JJ Redick. Credit to our Lakers coaching staff. All we ask for is, can they make the necessary adjustments? Can they find a way to plug in LeBron James and find a way to make that trio work? Because we all have the same questions. How can you have 3 stars like that and the product does not work? Is there similarities? There's a lot of similarities on the basketball court. But we have to also give credit to JJ Redick, not only the players and him allowing them to figure it out and make the necessary adjustments, but they have been doing so. Now, let's take a little break. Let's slow down a little bit. We'll talk a little more about that game. I'll read your guys' comments in the YouTube chat. And also, the Lakers got the Houston Rockets tonight. And I think this is honestly a critical matchup, especially with where the Lakers are at in the standings now being a top 3 seed in the Western Conference. We will do all of that right after let my partner Zapachanga give you guys a quick word.
At Pechanga Resort Casino, you can rock and roll, sip and slide, twist and shout. Play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, official Indian gaming sponsor of the Lakers.
Whew. 5-0. Lakers went 5-0 on their homestand. They are now the number 3 seed in the Western Conference. By the way, Lakers not only own the tiebreaker over the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Lakers now own the tiebreaker over the Denver Nuggets. And you know what? If the Lakers somehow win these 2 games in Houston, do you know what that means? The Lakers will own the tiebreaker over the Houston Rockets. We see how close the standings are. We see how Lakers could easily, if they trick off some games in this Eastern Conference road trip, the 6-game road trip, they can find themselves falling in the standings to the 6th seed. But the Lakers can take care of business, and somehow I believe the Lakers can get at least 3-4 wins out of that road trip. Then they can still be in that top 3, top 4 in the Western Conference standings. And the reason why this game is so important and why I think this is honestly the biggest game of the season, biggest 2 games, I must say, of the season, in my personal opinion, Lakers are coming off their biggest win. By hands down, that game against the Denver Nuggets was their biggest win of the season. Now, this matchup against the Houston Rockets not only is critical as far as the standings outlook of it, but also because you can possibly be matched up with the Houston Rockets in the playoffs, okay? This is basically formatted in a way where the Lakers can get familiar with this as far as they got the Houston Rockets tonight, a day in between. I know in the playoffs is normally a day or 2 in between, but then they got the Houston Rockets on what? On Wednesday in Houston again. Now, this is going to be shown as far as where the Lakers are going to be at because we've seen them having success at home, and we would want the Lakers to get home court advantage going into the playoffs. Let's keep in mind that when the Houston Rockets came out here, in LA, the Houston Rockets punched the Lakers in the mouth. Could it be early in the season where the Lakers were not really playing good basketball? They're still trying to find the rhythm of the trio. LeBron James still, dealing with some injuries. Could that be the case? Possibly so. Also, the Houston Rockets, the injury bug has hit them. And why I think this is a favorable matchup for the Lakers is because what? Because of not only the Houston Rockets have been struggling as far as offensively, the Houston Rockets also are heavily dependent on Kevin Durant. A 37-year-old Kevin Durant, he does majority of things for the Houston Rockets. Now, let's not take credit as far as what the Houston Rockets do well. They defend really, really well, and they are a physical team. But knowing that they don't have a point guard, and knowing that their starting point guard is Armin Thompson, and knowing that they look at who else can bring the ball up as far as their point guard, they don't really have that. And then, honestly, if the Lakers really want to take advantage of this Houston Rockets team, they better go out Alperen Sengun because he is not a good defender. And I'm not trying to get deep into wounds and a breakdown, but this is a very, very critical 2 games right now against the Houston Rockets. And shout out to my guy, Carlo, out there operating his thing in the back. Per ESPN analytics, they give the Houston Rockets and the Lakers a 32% chance at meeting in the first round of the playoffs. Each team's most likely matchup. The Lakers played 2 straight, of course. I announced against the Rockets this week. And LeBron James was a minus 33 on that day. Let me tell you that one more time. LeBron James was minus 33 on Christmas Day against the Rockets. That was his worst ever as a Laker. And it was honestly tied for 3rd worst in his NBA career. Wow. So shout out to Carlo for giving me that stat. And yeah, if the ESPN analytics show this, that they give it a 32% chance that the Lakers could match up with the Houston Rockets in the first round of playoffs, just like JJ Redick, And just like how we told him against that Denver Nuggets team, as far as treat this game as a playoff game, we need every single one of you guys to be ready, to be paying attention to detail, to be able to have a fluid offense, but also defend at a high level, set the tone, dive on the floor for loose balls, take charges, limit second chance opportunities. All those things that JJ Redick was telling his team in that game against the Denver Nuggets this over the weekend, you got to be telling them the same thing against the Houston Rockets. And I get it. I just really feel like seeing where the Lakers are at and how they've been playing better basketball at this right time of the NBA season, this is going to be a good test. And then let's also see how they will do on a road trip. And just to go over their schedule one more time is that they got, remember, Houston twice. Then they followed up that game on Wednesday. Right after that, on Thursday, they got the Orlando Magic. And then followed up, they got the Heat. And then they got the Detroit Pistons. All those games are not easy. Every single one of those games are against playoff teams. And this is going to be a 6-game trip where, okay, Lakers see if they can keep the momentum rolling. They were able to get that momentum on a 5-0 homestand against, the Knicks, the Timberwolves, the Bulls. They're able to keep that momentum rolling. Now when you have to be on the road and you're traveling that much in a short span of window timing, yeah, this is going to be another test to see where the Lakers are at and where can they possibly finish in that as far as the 6-game road trip. Your boy is sweating over here because I'm cooking up that heat. So, as again, you see the graphic right there, Houston, Miami, Orlando, Detroit, and then they finish off the road trip, which, okay, they should win that one against the Indiana Pacers. In my personal opinion, the Lakers need to get 1 out of 2 in Houston. They need to. They need to get 1 out of 2 in Houston. And honestly, I feel like in that Miami Heat game, Lakers possibly will lose that one, only because coming off of the second out of a back-to-back, I do believe they're going to exert majority of their energy in that Rockets game because, remember, tiebreakers and all that stuff matters, especially coming down to the second half of the season and as playoffs are approaching. But then, if they do, they take care of business against the Orlando Magic, especially when the Magic came out here and beat the Lakers on their home floor. And then you followed up against the Detroit Pistons. Out of those 6 games, I would hope the Lakers can go at least win 4 out of those 6. Give them 1 in Houston. Possibly they lose the second one. Who knows? Or they win tonight. Or they lose tonight, win the second one. They just got to get 1 out of those 2. I do believe they lose to Orlando Magic. So that keeps them at 1 and 2. If they take care of business against the Magic, they'll be at 2 and 2. Detroit, 3 and 2. And then you take care of Indiana, that's 4 and 2. Remember, 4 and 2. If you can get 4 wins in that 6-game road trip, then all of a sudden, it's going to be somewhere, okay, Lakers took care of business in that road trip. Now, to see you guys in the YouTube chat, you guys have been locked in. You guys have been all on the YouTube chat. Go ahead and read some of your guys' comments. Peter, once again, AR needs to get paid. I realize that he doesn't jump high or play great defense, but that dude is him. Now, that's going to be another discussion going into the offseason as far as what the Lakers are going to do, as far as the pairing Luka and Austin Reeves together. Because Austin Reeves, as far as how he has been playing, knowing that he's still be getting 30 points, knowing that he's still able to be crafty, knowing that he does a lot of things well offensively, there's still going to be those issues come playoff time. And hopefully he's able to elevate his defense and able to show teams or show the Lakers that he can be trusted and relied on when it comes in critical moments of playing defense. Every single thing else he does offensively is really, really good. But the thing as far as playoff times, we know how playoffs come, is that everybody elevates their game. The whistles are not really in a lot of teams' favor. The whistles referees allow teams to play. And we had this same thing going into the playoffs last season. I keep on wrapping my head around as far as we were doing the whole Lakers in 5. Remember, I was Lakers in 5, Lakers in 5. And then what happens? They end up playing against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who, just like last year, they had success with in the regular season. They came down to the playoffs, and they were able to get exploited, and the matchups did get exposed. Now, could that be because now they got Deondre Ayton, and if he's able to keep this high energy and high effort, could that be a difference maker? Yes, of course, because remember, at that time, the Lakers had Dorian Finney-Smith. The Lakers had no size. And what happens? Lakers end up getting exposed big time when they had no big man. They had no size. They had no athleticism. They had no real point of attack defender on that team because they try to throw in Vanderbilt, but what does Vanderbilt do? He can help you out offensively. He does a lot of good things, great defensively, as far as providing energy and effort on that end, getting hands in the passing lane. But Marcus Smart has proven that he's able to knock down some shots. I know there's moments that he can kind of get a little happy on that three-point ball, and it doesn't really fall. But he does a lot of good things defensively. And you guys, the Lakers are going to need his energy. They're going to need his toughness, his edge, especially come that time. And by the way, for those of you guys that like to criticize Rob Pelinka, you know when they got Dorian Finney-Smith, and we know I was honestly on that, like, man, they got Dorian Finney-Smith, and they let him walk. Dorian Finney-Smith got paid, as he should have. That man is not playing well at all. He is not playing good basketball, and he cannot stay healthy. So the Lakers, as far as not giving him that contract extension or not being able to pay him, honestly, it worked out in the Lakers' favor because Dorian Finney-Smith is not playing good basketball at all. And the fact that they're able to get Deondre Ayton, as far as the side that they're able to give him, he's playing good basketball. Again, I'm very, very critical on him, but he's finally playing the role that the Lakers need him to play. Roll hard to the basket, rebound, defend. That's the things that the Lakers ask you to do. Because if you do that and all of a sudden the ball gets in your hands, then that's a bonus. But the Lakers acquired you, they signed you because they lacked size and they needed your athleticism to be able to help them out in that aspect on the basketball court. So for the Lakers, Dorian Finney-Smith, hey, they dodged the bullet on that one because he has not been able to stay healthy. His numbers are really, really low. He has not been able to get into rhythm whatsoever. So for those of you guys that criticize Rob Pelinka and all that stuff, hey, look, it worked out in the Lakers' favor. But, man, it's a big one tonight. Lakers versus Rockets. 2 games in Houston. 32% chance ESPN Analytics give the Lakers in matchup a possible first-round matchup. This could be in the Lakers' favor. Houston has a lot of holes as far as what they do. But you know what they're going to do is that they're going to defend at a high level. And how are the Lakers going to be able to match up with that defensive intensity, that aggressiveness, that physicality? Because when teams are real physical with the Lakers, they tend to get in their shell. But we haven't seen that through these past couple of games. And now with them traveling, all we want to see them now is, can you keep this momentum rolling? You got another matchup against another team who is considered top in the Western Conference. Are you going to be able to build off that Denver Nuggets? You can't come out here flat-footed. Treat that game against the Denver Nuggets like you did like the playoff game. Do the same thing going into tonight against the Houston Rockets. And as always, I will be talking to you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I get another guest on. I possibly will get AK because he'll be able to break down more of this game tonight and more about this Lakers team and how they have been playing thus far throughout the second half of the season. It's been looking good. So for you guys in the YouTube chat, I will be talking to you guys tomorrow. Very, very grateful for you guys tuning in. As always, I'll see you guys. We out.